Welcome back to Whale Watching on Wall Street. I'm so excited to present to you for today. We got something really exciting, and that's how I spiked a profit of $83,950, which represents 61.45% in just 2 days. Now here we go. We're going to study how we make this particular trade, especially more so we are using the spiking wealth management tools that my company spiking.com has developed. All right, without further ado, let's dive into the trade. So here we go. First in, let's check out the tweet I posted out on Twitter, and this is the particular trade of interest. How I spiked XOM, Exxon Mobil, profit $83,950, 61.45% in just 2 days. And this is the particular trade itself, all right? So we want to put a timestamp deploying options. When I got in, that's on the 3rd of March last Thursday. And then when I got out, this was on this week itself, on Monday, bought low at 2.45 on the premium and sold high at 4.44 on the premium, representing a percentage profit of 61.45% pure profit return in just 2 days. So I'm going to walk through with you the exact steps I've taken for me to find out about this particular trade, all right? So here we go. We're going to go into our very unique proprietary software known as a spiking wealth management tool, and of which right over here we can kind of search for any companies that we are of interest. And of course, during this current crisis of the 4 big I's that I talk about, number 1 is the rising inflation rate, and number 2, with the upcoming interest rates hikes, and number 3, the invasion of Russia into Ukraine, and most importantly, number 4, the changing of investment styles between growth versus value. So of course, right hot on the topic is energy stocks. And here we go, we are looking at Exxon Mobil as a company. And in our proprietary software, we know that the net universe purchase is $2.8 billion. Now this is like kind of a super high, and this was already transacted way back in Q4 2021, the last 3 months of 2021 itself. Back then, I believe many of them already in the know. They believed that the stock price would go up, and that's the reason why they went in to buy the stock price or stocks of ExxonMobil really aggressively. Step 2 on our insider, this is the part of our software we are able to know exactly who put down the money on the table. And this is the part that's really mind-boggling, because we are able to see like Morgan Stanley increasing by 24.29% Q3 versus Q4, and for James Simmons Renaissance Technology increased by 134%, right? This is Q3 versus Q4, and this is the kind of data that is very powerful, standing on the shoulders of giants. I just skip this and go straight to step 3. This is really the main key concern that we have, because on our tool, we are able to mark out every single day what exactly is happening, right? So we're going to click on this part here to the 26 news mentioned between 1st of March to 7th of March. Why? Because the trade was executed on 3rd of March. I'm going to show you exactly what I was looking at back then that kind of prompted my response to trade on ExxonMobil, right? So here we go. On 3rd of March, we can kind of look at the dates here presented in descending order. And we'll just focus on 3rd of March itself. What exactly triggered my mind that gave me the confidence to play on the ExxonMobil based on the information presented to me right here on the 3rd of March, all right? And of course, we can go way back, trace the dots, because our software is really built in a way that you can see all the previous transactions, whether who is buying and who is selling, and we kind of connect the dots. And this is the part that's really important. We can see all these big purchases from FMR, GQG partners, Morgan Stanley, and so on, right? With Vanguard also taking 11.2 million number of shares of ExxonMobil back on 9 February this year. And this is kind of the data that we want to really dive into study. But for the purpose of today's YouTube, we're just going to study the chain of events leading on the 3rd of March, all right? So here we go. We go back to our 3rd of March. Really, really easy. You'll be seeing exactly what I seen back then, and I mark out right here on this box, okay? So, first thing back then, I was, betting on the fact that I believe with British BP, British Petroleum withdrawing from Russia, I guess the next player to withdraw or declare an exit will be Exxon Mobil. And here we go. On the 3rd of March, there was an interview by CNBC with the CEO. Things will have to change significantly for Exxon to return to business in Russia, says chairman and CEO. But really captured my imagination was the fact that the CEO claims that the potential for significantly higher oil prices with Russian oil disruption. This is the clear giveaway. From the man in the know in the business, he's telling us oil price is going to spike up. And that is the knowledge I taken. And of course, this was back then the CNBC interview, Chevron chairman, and this is, backtrack a little bit. They kind of play forward a little bit right here. This is the one, all right? Things will have to change significantly for Exxon to return to business in Russia, says chairman and CEO. So this is back then an interview by CNBC.
But the company's decision yesterday to cease operations at Sakhalin 1.
I kind of fast forward right here.
And frankly, steps being taken all around the world by countries and companies, the ability for us to continue to operate that facility as we went forward, we saw becoming more and more strained and felt like we needed to put a plan in place that would allow us to how we run our business, and felt like that was a point we needed to start this process of going forward, given the current position.
Right. And again, it's roughly 1% to 2% when you look at it in terms of capital employed by your company. So it's obviously not large, although you never like to say goodbye to reserves potentially if you're Exxon Mobil, at least the sense I've gotten from the company's history. Do you anticipate that that's it for Exxon and Russia? That there will be, no time in the future perhaps that you might not consider once again operating in that country?
Well, I think predicting the future is tough, and we try not to do that. I would tell you, certainly with the time that we spent there, it was a productive time. I think we helped advance the economy and provided. We had 1,000 employees in Russia, most of them Russian citizens. So it had a very good.
Okay, so we have a good view. This was the kind of a 4 minutes interview by CNBC on the CEO of Exxon Mobil. Now, the crux of this video tells us that he's expecting the disruption of oil will be so severe that will lead to a price increase of crude oil. So we're going to dive into the stock chart right now. Now I'm going to show you exactly 3rd of March, which is exactly right here on this candle. All right, this is 3rd of March. And this is on the Thursday. And then this is on the Friday. And then we exited on a Monday. All right, we exited on a high on a Monday. And today, this is Tuesday, going all the way high to $89. And back then in the interview, the stock price was trading about $80, all right? So these are the steps that we have taken to realize a very important proposition, and that is this: how to make the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. And the leverage that we get from options is very, very powerful. And you can see you're not going to get kind of same percentage return of over 60% in just 2 days for stock price movement. And that is the beauty of us deploying this powerful software built by Spiking, and it's called the Spiking Wealth Management Tool, and thereby allowing us to realize this goal of achieving $83,000, $950, 61.45% in just 2 days playing on Exxon Mobil. So I hope that you like this series of Whale Watching on Wall Street, and as I bring to you more and more exciting ideas for this coming month, and that's the reason why this is the greatest opportunity of our lifetime, where there's so much volatility in the marketplace, to really get our minds wrapped around, to connect the dots and to see clearly where the opportunity lies. the data doesn't tell lie. And that is what I want to bring across to you. Thank you for joining us today, and sincerely looking forward to you joining us in the next video series. Please make sure you subscribe below so that the next time I turn on, you'll be alerted on the notification. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Goodbye.